we are now getting the results of that vote on the Robert Jenrick amendment.
To the left, 536.
The ayes to the right, 65. The noes to the left, 536. So the noes have it. The noes have it. And look.
Well, there you go. That is the result of the rebel amendment proposed by Robert Jenrick. Amendment 23, designed to block last-minute injunctions from European judges stopping flights to Rwanda. 65 MPs voting in favour of that amendment and against the government. And just for comparison, yesterday, the numbers on those rebel amendments were 68 and 58, respectively. So a similar number of rebels. But, of course, this is not the crunch vote. That's the most important thing. This is not the big one. Let's bring in our Deputy Political Editor, Sam Coates, shall we? Sam, what do you make of that result?
It's really important. And there's a reason it's really important. Now, the subject of the vote was whether or not they should toughen the legislation to block last-minute injunctions from European judges, right? All day, ministers have been trying to claim they're going to do it by other means. They're going to tweak the civil service code or direct civil servants to do it. And the rebels said, well, we just don't believe it's ever going to happen. We just don't think that promising or kind of non-binding codes are strong enough. So what we have tonight is, after a day of attempts for the government and by Downing Street to kind of negotiate people into compromise, effectively 65 rebels, which is more or less the same number that we had yesterday, have gone, we don't believe you. It doesn't work. And I think this gets to the heart of what's really going on. The rebels haven't bought Number 10's argument. There isn't a collapse in the rebellion because, you know, the whips and the policy geniuses in Number 10 have come up with a very smart whiz and bought everybody off like that. It's simply they've done a calculation, decided that collapsing the government is not in their interest right now. And that is what that vote tells you.
Thank you very much, Sam. Right, let's go to Central Lobby now, shall we? And we can talk to our political editor, Beth Rigby. 65 MPs supporting that rebel amendment on the Rwanda bill. What do you make of it?
Well, that was the mood music out of that gathering of the rebels. There was a sense that on that amendment, which was rebel leader Jenrick's amendment, that there would be a strong showing of support for it, again trying to signal to the government their discontent. I mean, Robert Jenrick absolutely clear that reassurances from the Prime Minister, and indeed I think today they also tried to change the civil service code, or indicated they would, to try and reassure MPs that civil servants wouldn't override the decisions of ministers. But Robert Jenrick clearly in that room, he was in that meeting with the rebels, arguing that this simply wasn't strong enough and that this should be written into the bill. Well, obviously a big chunk of Conservatives have agreed with him. But again, even though they have agreed on these rebel amendments, not inclined to vote down the bill tonight in its entirety. But still, it's a sign that they are agitated. They want to give the Prime Minister a bloody nose, but ultimately they're going to pull their punches on the actual substance of the bill. It doesn't mean that they aren't going to cause further problems, though, along the lines, particularly if it comes back from the House of Lords amended and diluted. I think there might be another row then, and it'd be interested to see whether the One Nation Tories would give ground to a Prime Minister wanting to strengthen that bill once more. So as one rebel source said to me tonight, and it's hard to disagree, there might be a win tonight, but the Prime Minister certainly not out of the woods in the bigger picture of getting this legislation, not just through the Commons, but through the Lords and onto the statute book.